Well, this sculpture is actually from a Silvermine class I took in woodworking, and I would say that what inspired me to make it is actually kind of the teacher, and what the teacher was like. He was like teaching us things, and he told us this story about this guy he knows who was like going in the forest and like researching trees and stuff, and he told us about this guy who came up to this stump, and he cut open the stump, and inside of it was green, which meant despite the tree being cut down, it was still alive. So basically, like, all of the other trees in the forest were like keeping this old tree alive, and he thought like maybe it was because like that tree like had like knowledge or something to share with like all of the other trees in the forest. And I thought that was really interesting. And so this piece is about like the life of a tree. Like, here's like the seed sprouting and growing up to a tree. And I didn't put a stump in there, but kind of like I steam bended this wood here, and that kind of like represents the stump, and like everything inside of it, like through its life, is like all the knowledge and stuff. I'm actually interested in architecture, and I normally do a lot of drawing. This is like probably one of the first sculptures I'd done in a while, so I just thought it would be nice to like hone some woodworking skills, because we're definitely going to use that in architecture school. How I started out with, I didn't actually have the wood bended pieces around it, but then you need it like for stability, so just thinking about stuff like that relates to architecture, I guess.
Well, this one was actually just like a self-portrait that I did at the place that I went to, the University of the Arts in Philadelphia. It was kind of impressive for me because I usually can't finish stuff over the course of a couple hours. This was the first piece I was able to do, just looking from a reflection of myself over a few hours, and that's impressive for me. I don't use chalk very often, so that was just kind of a test for me. I also don't draw myself that often, so I just wanted to try and do that without using photo references, actually using my reflection. I didn't look very good the day that I did this. I kind of looked like trash, so it was kind of hard looking at myself in the mirror and trying to like fix stuff that looked really bad, because I just wanted to stop looking at my reflection because I hated how I looked that day. And it's also, I think, hard for people doing pictures of themselves because you're kind of biased about how the end product's going to be, so that was kind of difficult. And for this one, I think the hardest part was getting reference photos for it, because I had to ask one of my friends to do it for me, because I had to have her like lying down in a bathtub so I could get reference pictures for it, and it was really awkward. So that was probably the hardest part for that one. And this one was more the beginning of the summer. I actually didn't do this at the school that I went to. It was more for an art competition that had to do with preserving the ocean and wildlife and stuff like that. So this one was supposed to center around carbon dioxide emissions and how that's affecting ocean acidification and coral bleaching. I actually didn't finish this one yet, but it looks finished, so I put it up anyway. I'm planning on making this part more three-dimensional, and it was supposed to look like bleached coral as opposed to the coral around here, which is colored and vibrant and stuff like that. So I changed my idea a little bit halfway through.
Well, I was always interested in metalworking, and I would always like go to parks and stuff and see, like, look at them and like how they actually made them. And I always thought it was really cool, like working with metal, because like when you get to like work with metal, you feel like you can do anything, because it's like metal is like such a durable material. I always like abstract art and stuff, so before I took the class over the summer at Silvermine, I was drawing like in my sketchbook like different shapes and stuff, and I always thought like bending like a crescent or like into different like forms and putting them all together and making kind of like a chandelier effect or some type of like flower almost like this one, I always thought was like really cool. And all the different effects you can put on metal, like burning, like this one right here I threw in the forge. I welded it to the plate, and I took the crescent and put it on an anvil and hammered it out to get that like nice curve, almost like a moon. And these are all stainless steel, by the way. So everything we got at like the school like was like scrap metal, so we could take anything from the back of the shop and kind of do whatever we want with it. So I found like a piece of rebar, heated it up, like hammered it, kind of get like a nice curve, like a perch for like a bird or something. And yeah, kind of just make it a bird. This was actually like the first time I did welding and stuff, but yeah, I've sculpted with clay and those type of materials. I never done metal before, so it was a first. It was great. I think I'm gonna go back and do it again.